you've all heard of the slowest door in the world over there. This is its very slightly younger brother. And I need it open, because I am going spraying. There's 2 minutes of my life I'm never going to get back. We're going spraying. We've got the first lot of spraying on our oats and also our barley if we get to it today to do. We're going to on the sprayer, we go in the chemical store, get all the sprays we need, head down to the water tank and fill up the sprayer. Got Gus with me today. Here he is. Second in command. I need to come back a bit. Right, that should now clip in place, like so. That is us joined on, so we're going nowhere. There he goes. I've left my gloves in the Manitou, which is not here at the moment, so I've got oily hands. If I talk you through what we got here, so we've got, if I can get it out, brake pipe with a 90-degree knuckle in it. That's to avoid this little thing here that the steering axle rod connects to, otherwise you can't get the brake pipe on. We've got a hydraulic pipe, so that just goes into one of the normal hydraulic spools, and you have it on constant pumping when you're in work. Then we also have an absolute monster of a return pipe, so oil can get back quick. So you've got to have a bigger size return on the tractor. We have our isobus, so everything is controlled through the screen on this sprayer. So we need an isobus connection. Last but not least, we have our electrics for our lights and stuff. So the only other thing I need to do now is take the jack off, which is fairly easy. You just wind this down until the pressure comes off. So that's the jack off. The only other thing is the steering rod here, but I'm not going to be using the steering axle today, so there's no point connecting up. Normally you just put that little ball socket there on top of that one, and then it's got 2 sensors here, so that when you steer one way or the other, it covers them up, and your axle turns depending on what way you're going. You also have to put that one into the second hole there, so it's in work mode. So yeah, all good. We'll pull out and then we'll use this deck here to put all our sprays on for the minute, go down and fill up. So I have here with me spray sheet, recommendation from our agronomist. I think the light's on, here it is. So I'm going to pick up the sprays we want now. Sorry about the echo in here. So what do we want? Paramount Max, that is a granule. Need 400 grams of that, so 1, 2, 3, 4. Which is where a bigger hand would be handy. We need some Inari, which is this, so that is for mildew protection. I need 4 litres of that, so I'm going to pick up all of that. I'll get that in a minute. Stabling, I've seen that here somewhere the other day. That's a growth regulator, or growth manipulator. Where are you? There you are. Stabling 750. So we need 20 litres of that, so there's a 5 litres on there. 2 new ones, so we'll take the 2 new ones. And then the other thing we want is Ducklazam, which is also a herbicide for broadleaf weeds. So there's 20 litres in there ready for us. So we'll get all that, put it on the sprayer. Bam. Another one. Right, that's us stocked up. We're only going down behind the bottom of that shed there, so that will travel all right. Then we'll take it all off, start filling the sprayer up. There's a little bit of water already in it because we had the sprayer tested a couple of weeks ago. We'll start filling up and we'll get spraying. Right, so we've got all our sprays ready. Water tank is currently filling up. I did a sensible thing and turned it off before winter, but then forgot to turn it back on. Forgot to turn it back on before today, but the time it's taken me to hook the sprayer on and get all this ready it's pretty well full. We were going to be using our new spray tank, which is in between the end of the silage shed there and the top yard. But we got a slurry experiment which we need some water for to dilute some slurry early next week. And that's rainwater over there, so there's no chlorine, whereas this is mains water, so it's got chlorine in it. They don't want the chlorine for the slurry experiment. So if I take it out of that tank and it doesn't rain before Tuesday, we're a bit scummered. So I'll take it out of this one, we'll connect the pipe up. I'm just going to work out my 2 loads so I can't do it in one, and then we'll get going. Just worked out here the rates I need for some of the fields. So I'm going to do our 2 big fields first, which is Greatfield and Pecketsford. I need 2,230 litres of water, and then 223 grams of Paramount, 2.23 litres of Inari, and then 11.15 litres of both the Stabling and the Duplazan. So we will get to doing that. We'll get suited up in all our PPE, we'll start the water going in, and then as it's going in we'll put the products in so it all mixes and agitates nicely, and then we'll do some spraying. We are suited up and ready to go, so I'm going to attach the hose and we'll get the water pumping in. Right, so we have got water going in there. You can see that doesn't quite seal properly, but that is only water coming out of the tank. Also doesn't seal properly down there, which is why we moved to a new tank really, but can't use it today. That's just a backup. Good job we got it because we need it today. Got this on what we call fast fill, so both these indicators looking down, drawing water as quick as it can out of that tank. So whilst we're doing that, I'm going to fill it up to about 2,300 litres, which is that mark there. You can see it's got a little way to go yet. We're going to get this one circulating and then start putting our products in. Right, now we have finished handling chemicals. I can take off my PPE for a minute. It's now back on fast fill. So all the chemicals we need for our tank mix are now inside the tank. And the beauty of getting them in early is now I'm going to fill up with another 2,000 litres of water. That will mix really well in the tank. It'll be a really nice even mixture. What you don't want to do is put all your water in and then all your chemical at the end, and don't let it agitate much before you start spraying. And with this machine, do what's called spray with agitation, so it is constantly agitating the tank whilst you're spraying. But now it's just a bit of a waiting game. It'll be 5 minutes or so for that to be full, and then we'll be on down the field. So whilst it's filling up, we can keep an eye on the side tube there. I'm just going to set up the tank spray. So work set up. So it knows we've got the sprayer on. We're going to call this one, it's not Oats, we'll do a new tank mix. Tank mix name, Oats. I guess we're on T0 still. I'll just put Oats first. A for application. Okay. Solution, we always put in litres per hectare. So it says it's in litres per hectare there, so we spray at a rate of 200 litres per hectare. And we add products. Do all this quick and then I'll show you once I'm finished. Right, so we've just set up here our Oats first application, so you can see here a preview. It's the name of it, and we're spraying it 200 litres a hectare with water as our carrier, and then we've got the 4 different products there we're using and their rates. What that'll do is it will give us a work total once we've done our field on here of how much we've sprayed on each field, which is obviously clever and also very good for record keeping. We just go into nozzle, that's the nozzle we're using. Set up desired pressure 2 bar, so we're going to be doing about 8k. Good, save. Right, once that's full, we're off. Right people, we are full. The only thing for it now is to head to the field and do spraying. Hopefully it all goes well. Got my drone, but I don't know how much battery it's got. If we get a chance, we'll stick that in the air as well. New mirror doing a wonderful job. I can see my wheel against the gate post. God, some boy. Sports fans, I think we're ready. To go. Put that in auto. What am I going to do in 8K? What are we doing about that? Now, with spraying, you need to be about 50 centimeters above crop height. I've got two little rings, you can't see them at the moment, but on the end, which basically you skim across the top of the crop, tells you that you are at the right height. Very handy. So we'll get the headland out of the way. Once we get on the up and downs, perhaps we'll stick the drone in the air.
You know that I'm the queen of overthinking. It's like we're done before we even started. So if this is the end now, baby, know that I gave it my all. I believe in us, I won't give up on you. I will be holding on for life. Hope you believe in us, please don't give up on me. At least give me a try. 'Cause you're the best thing, the best thing. You're the best thing that I've ever had. You're the best thing, the best thing. You're the best thing. 'Cause you're the As I'm walking to your place, I'm shaking. I am picturing the words in my mind. I cannot stand losing you. No, I will fight. 'Cause I believe in us, I won't give up on you. I will be holding on for life. Hope you believe in us, please don't give up on me. At least give me a try. It's like you almost know what I am thinking. 'Cause I believe in us, I won't give up on you. I will be holding on for life. 'Cause you're the best thing, the best thing. You're the best thing that I've ever had. You're the best thing, the best thing. You're the best thing. 'Cause you're the best thing that I've ever had. Best thing, best thing. Best thing that I've ever had. Best thing, best thing.
Right, we just folded up, done the first field. There should be a couple things you might have noticed from the drone footage, or you will notice from the drone footage. I don't know whether I put it in before or after. But the first is that we didn't put any tram line eradicators in when we drilled this, or when I drilled this. I put the tram lines in with the sprayer when I put the pre-emergent on. And the other thing you might notice is I went round a very wet hole. We don't know why it's so wet there. We thought there was a drain block that Phil had found, Phil. But he unbung that and it's still a wet spot there, so whether there's a spring in the ground there that needs dealing with or something, I don't know. But it took me a little bit longer then to do that field than I thought. So what I'm going to do is go and have lunch, come back, do the other field after lunch, and then I'll finish the other 4 fields after lunch as well. So yeah, that went alright. Quite happy with how it went. It's one of those things, spraying, you do loads of it at once and then you don't do any for like 3 months, so it's good to get your eye back in and get everything working how you want it again. So see you after lunch. I am just leaving the yard after lunch. Little issue with the sprayer. I started the tractor up and put my foot on the brake, because this tractor you don't necessarily need the clutch. If you have your foot on the brake and you're in gear and you let your brakes off, you'll move whatever direction you've selected. But put my foot on the brake and heard this hiss, and I looked behind me and the brake coupling, I guess there's an O-ring gone inside it or something, is spewing oil everywhere. So I've done the quick fix and just disconnected it for the time being, because we're only like very local, we're not going on the roads at any speed, we haven't got a stop sharp, so that'll be one for next week to investigate. Right, I've just finished this second field. Just thought it was interesting to show you. You've got this little triangle here in the corner. I cannot ever get in with the sprayer or the fert spinner because we've got the hedge and then a buffer strip. You can see where the nitrogen comes to about there, and then that's all like light green and doesn't look quite so good. But I had a few questions on this joystick a few videos ago, so I thought I'd just run you through what it does. So basically this joystick controls the sprayer and all the functions you got on it. So this button on the left here is the up and down, so you go up, down with the booms. The next two do the outer edges, folding in and out. This is manual section control up here, so you can turn the sections. If I swap the screen around here, if I press the left hand button, see they start going live, they go black. But I always run that in auto because in the section control just looks after that. This is the on off for the valve, so it's currently off so no spray can come out. This is the manual drawbar steering. This is your boom height, so if you want to tilt the boom to the right, like so, press the right hand one. If you go left, press the left hand one. You've got a little scale up here that tells you what angle you're at. Right, time to get dressed again. Everything filled up again. Hopefully you've just seen the process of filling the hopper. I'll just turn it off a minute now. Basically the water's recirculating from the tank. I'll turn that off now. I'll let the hopper empty so it will suck it all into the tank. So that's how we get the chemical in there in the first place. And then if I put this lever pointing towards the pipe along with this one, that's now on fast fill, so that'll fill up with water now rapidly. This is why we wear gloves. Look, I got a load of spray residue on my fingers there. If you're anything like John Bowman and you pick your nose and eat it, then that wouldn't be very nice. But we'll fold this hopper away now. Oh, just whilst we're here, you may have seen me pushing the bottles down on that cones looking thing there. That's a rinser, so that takes clean water and washes out the inside of the cans at high pressure, so you have them upside down, push down on it to activate it. When you rinse those 3 times, that deems them clean to be recycled. Right, into the next field we go. See how good the oats are looking here. Beautiful. But this is what we're coming in to get rid of, is these little grassy bits, any grass weeds that are appearing. The last field we were just in had a fair bit of chickweed in it, a few thistles and the odd dock, so that's what we're coming to knock out. Can't say she's not a smart outfit. For this field, it's called Poor Field. It sits really, really wet. Last year, the bit that we're currently driving through was completely written off. We had like a 12 metre, half of our headland didn't touch. It was just so badly flooded, and I mean, most of it still is. There's like a bund at the bottom there before the drain where all the water collects, and it just never drains properly. You wouldn't be able to tell, but I ran out of seed. This is the last field I drilled, and I ran out of seed in this corner. And so we nicked some seed off one of our neighbours. It wasn't dressed or anything. And I had a bit of straw chaff in with it. Kept blocking up the metering unit. But it's all here and it's growing, so no one's complaining. If I hadn't told you I'd run out, you wouldn't notice. It's only because I know exactly where I ran out. I can just about see. It's just a little bit thinner. Right, I've just sprayed the headland of the last field and the tank has run dry. So what we're going to do is we're going to put this A lever to H2O, and I believe that should start sucking water from the auxiliary tank, which is on the other side. So this has got a clean water tank that holds 400 litres of sprayer. You can see our little dial here is starting to come down. That means that the main tank's filling up, which means that green tank is emptying. This is ideal. I can wash out on the field. I haven't got to try and get rid of water that's got a chemical in somewhere else, because that is very difficult. And then when I want to go spraying next week on the barley, in theory the boom lines and the nozzles will have all had clean water through them. So I'm not putting any chemical that should go onto oats, onto barley. Perfect, absolutely perfect. Couldn't have done it better myself. It's all turned off, shut the revs, power shaft, turn the main valve off. That's us done. Give it a slam. I have my magic key somewhere. Keeps everyone that shouldn't want to be going in there out. And park this thing up and we'll go home. Darts night, Thursday. Off to the pub. That's forwards. Happy days. Thank you very much for watching. If you liked it, please give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. There's loads of links to all the different socials in the description. If you want to go and follow them below, you can. Hope everyone has a good Easter weekend. We'll see you next week for another video. Cheerio.